Good evening and welcome to the Eastline Board of Education meeting for Monday, April 2nd, 2018. This is a special meeting. Call a meeting to order, and for everyone who can, please rise. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a short, we have two topics for this meeting, the special meeting, so we just are limited to the two items that are listed. The first one is discussion and action on the proposed Eastline High School graduation date of the class of 2018. And even with a little bit of a scare this morning.
It's a little rough going this morning. Yeah, we're on the fence once again, but we made it through. So that puts us with the decision of, having graduation on Friday, June 22nd, and that actually being the last day of school for all students, and staff as well. So that would give us the 180 days rather than the 182. We did have school this past Friday on Good Friday, and also on May 25th, which was a planned full PD day. You all had made a motion, and we'd agreed at the previous meeting to make that a half student day. So that leaves us with the ability now to set graduation for Friday, June 22nd, which is keeping us out of that next week, which is good.
Go ahead.
I move to set the graduation date for Eastline High School class of 2018 to be Friday, June 22nd, 2018, and to adjust the 2017-2018 public calendar to reflect Friday, June 22nd, 2018 as the last day of school, providing unpaid school days graduation date.
Second.
Okay. Discussion? So the only point that I would make is that I think that in terms of the world of trying to figure out the best compromises to make it all work, it's not perfect. It's not optimal, but it certainly is probably the most fair, balanced approach. So I certainly think that this is a wise thing to do. So, okay. Anybody else have a comment? No. Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Pass.
My daughter thanks you.
Yeah, my daughter thanks you. Yeah. And all those seniors, certainly, thank you. Yeah. So, good. Next item. Yeah, that was the graduation party. That's it. Okay. It's good. We have two happy people.
All right, that was nice.
Okay. The next item is for discussion, which is preparation for our scheduled April 12th community forum regarding the redistricting of the elementary schools, which I saw your note went out to.
Yes, we sent a letter out.
Parents.
Reminding parents of, tonight, some initial discussion, but then really the forum next week. We'll send another reminder out beginning of next week as well. So hopefully we'll get a good contingent group of parents at that meeting.
At that meeting, we will have Mike Sulo from Malone Room will be making the keynote address.
That's right.
With all the facts and information as well. So
exactly. Yes.
Candace, go ahead. Sure. Yeah.
So the letter that you sent out, it didn't just go through the Infinite Campus, did it? Or is it going through email, too?
It went out as a email to
email.
Yeah. We emailed it to all staff.
To look at the email, okay, because I just wanted to check, because a lot of people don't check the
That's good,
Infinite
yeah.
Campus. And if you don't have anything to prompt you to go and look, that there's something there for you to look at, you don't know. So I just wanted to.
Good.
All right, and are we going to be doing anything in the day paper as well, which would be great?
We could, I mean. Is she going to cover? Okay, all right, good.
Good.
All right, great.
It would be good to have a little blurb.
Perfect.
Right.
Ahead of the meeting, just saying that
Right.
there were.
Yeah.
They'll put it in probably on Sunday.
I did.
Or Saturday, where they put the meetings for the following month, on the following week.
Yeah.
all the town meetings and that. That's what probably will go. And I think she's doing a small article.
Yeah,
Are we
okay.
going to send home maybe a notice through the elementary schools?
Oh, yeah.
Like in a backpack type
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, sure.
We could send a hard copy home, and we haven't gotten away from all of that because of the electronic
Right,
filing, but this might be something,
This
you
might
know,
be
unique
something
and,
where we might
yeah,
wanna
maybe
do it.
we could do
Yeah.
that, like a
I think
save the
really
date
good.
notice.
I think
Yep.
anything we can do so we don't end up having people say, I didn't know.
No, you're
I
right,
didn't-"
you're right.
I agree.
I think we should, blast people every way we can to make sure that they know.
Sure.
Then I had one other question. When we said that, what's the person's name from?
Mike Zuba?
Mike.
Suba. Yep.
Is Mike's presentation going to include all the stuff he did with us originally? Like,
All of the slides and the history and the enrollment and
Timeline.
all of that, yes.
so all of that?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
good.
just, he'll have scenario 3, 4A rather than 5 that we had narrowed it.
So we're going to have 4? We're going to have 3 and 3A and 4 and 4A?
No, I was under the impression we're just going to have 2A and 4A, and that's all we're bringing forward to the...
Okay, see, now my
Public forum.
here was my understanding. That wasn't what I understood. I understood that we all voted that we liked 3 and 4, but that we would take a look at a 3A and a 4A. I personally still like 4 better than 4A. So it wasn't my understanding that we were going to eliminate 3 and 4. We just wanted to look at Linda's shaking her head, that we just wanted to look at 4 and 4A. See, personally, I don't like 3A at all. And 4A, I think 4A is worth having, but I personally don't think that 3A, I don't think either one of them is, I don't think that 4A is an improvement on 4. And unless Mike can tell me why he thinks 4A is way better than 4, I mean, I personally still like 4.
My only concern, because it came out when we, at the last meeting, was if we bringing too many options to the table.
Well, but I'm saying I don't think we should I don't think that we said we were automatically eliminating 3 and 4.
No.
My
I don't believe so
understanding,
either, no.
my
Yeah, we didn't say that either.
understanding was we
were
would
trying to
take a
block.
look
Yep.
at 3A and 4A.
Right.
And then we would pick out of 3,
Those to
3A,
bring.
4, and 4A, the 2 we wanted.
Right, yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
right? Is that
Yep.
what everybody
That
else?
aligns with-
That's
Just
what
3
I
and 4.
thought.
3 and 4.
Because I
that
do
was one.
agree, bringing
I don't know where
4
3A and
to
4A
the
came
forum.
I don't think we should bring 4, but I also don't want to eliminate 3 and 4.
I don't know where 3A and 4A came from.
What?
I don't know where 3A and 4A came from. We had 3 and we had 4.
Right, but we talked about.
We did not talk about going 3A and 4A. We said we would make adjustments to 3 and 4.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
the
that
adjustment.
is.
Why they're called 3A.
Yeah, 3A is the
That's what
adjustments.
I think he needs to address that right up front.
That's what he's showing, yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than basically, right now it's a numbers game. Because if they go back and they read the minutes, it'll say 3 and 4 with some changes that basically we would make along the way. That was what we all consensus was.
Right.
So what do
And
we
then the
want to...
3A and the
So
4A came
basically,
forward out of the,
I wouldn't even use the word A. I'd say 3 and 4, get rid of the A's out of them altogether. Because if they go back and look at the website, they're going to see 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think we're adding more confusion to this whole thing we need to.
So what are we going
The
to
only
show
thing
them?
is-
Basically, we show them 3, we show them 4, but basically, we show them 3 and 4, and basically, if we say recommended changes to one or the other, that's a whole different story.
But you've got some modifications to 3.
But the public is only seeing 5. They're not seeing 7. They look at the website, they're seeing 5. They're not seeing 7 of
well,
them.
they're
Well, they're
seeing
seeing
5 on the
5,
website,
but then
when they go,
they're
gonna
seeing
see 2.
They're gonna see
this
2.
document. Yeah,
But the
they're
thing is,
seeing
though,
2.
I'm saying, we need to be very careful about how we cage this. We don't want to say,
well, yeah.
we said, and they can read the minutes, and it says 3 and 4. with some changes, which we can
I can
discuss.
see where the confusion is, because you're already confusing me.
That's right. But yeah, but say, so really, I think that
What we could do is just have them present, there's two options, 3 and 4.
That's right. Here's the alternatives.
And there's some
and basically some minor
tweaks to it to help
Tweaks to
everybody.
that.
That's what that was.
What we're looking for, I mean, what we're looking for is trying to get any other perspective input from
Exactly.
folks to say, did you consider this? Did you consider,
That's really what we want.
And that's what-
we
that's
want
what we're
public
looking for.
feedback.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like Barbara says, it's saying, this neighborhood on the chart here is split in half. Have you thought about moving the boundary one street over?
Yeah.
I mean, those are things that, if you live in the neighborhood, you're going to see that.
Yep.
Hi, Jill.
So are you saying you want to present just 3 and 4, wait till we get feedback, and then revisit?
Change it, tweaks.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about the original 4, in the original 4, the numbers were pretty equal.
Even.
But the only problem with 4 was that I believe Niantic Center got over the limit, which I think is what, 311 or something? Got over the limit pretty quick,
Yeah, I
right?
think you're right.
So 4A, if you look at 4A, 4A keeps Niantic Center within their numbers, puts more kids in Haynes, right? Haynes is the red.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Which has the most room, and keeps Flanders lower, and there isn't as much distinction between, like the numbers are pretty even between the whole way between Flanders and Haynes. The only problem with this one is the discrepancy between Niantic Center and the other 2 schools is always about 70 kids.
Yeah.
So the question is whether or not you're willing to have an option where one school, which is the smallest school, has, I mean, I don't know how people feel about that, but I don't think 4A is necessarily a bad option.
Yeah, I just want to watch Flanders' numbers too, because they're back up at their max there with the max projected enrollment.
Yeah.
If anything were to, if there was additional growth, we'd be having to redo other reconfigurations
Right.
of some sort.
Right.
But again, the difference between 3A and 4A is 18 kids if you look at their, or 17 kids. So it's not that much.
Right.
So-
So anyway, I didn't like 3A, but I thought 4A wasn't horrible. But I agree with Al that we should go
yeah,
with
so
3
why
and
don't we
4
bring-
and then take a look
then
at
tweak
these
them.
after.
But I
We
think
can look at these after.
Yep.
I mean, that was the
think
idea.
there's-
I mean, that's what we said, even to Mike, when he was here. We said, yeah, we like these 2, but there are some changes we would like to see made to these also.
Yeah.
So basically, I'd say we walk in with that, because through the discussion, we're going to make other ideas, because we're not going to vote at the end of next meeting.
No, you're not going to.
So we're going to basically have an
listening session.
option to look at the feedback we got from the public, and in our own feedback, our own discussion, to finally come up with a workable plan.
And the other piece to this too,
Is the bus
transportation.
company.
Yeah,
Right.
we've
We have to
already
hear
been.
what they have
Yep,
to
we've
say.
been working with, they're working on it, so
Yeah.
we should have that information by next Thursday as to how the routes kind of look. How we unroll that, we're going to have to just figure
We
that out.
should wait until after and we should look at them first.
Well, that's what I
Oh, I
was gonna
agree,
ask.
absolutely. We don't
Yeah.
want to put that out
No.
public. I want to, if we have it in time, I can either get it to you so you can review it ahead of time.
I mean, I'm assuming
Or
we will
wait.
have another parent forum.
I would think.
maybe, maybe not.
Did we say we were going to have
I thought there was going to be two.
Contract is only one, I think.
I think there's one in the contract, we can pay $900 for him.
We can pay more, yeah.
I think we need to have one
without him, too.
Yeah, we could do it ourselves once. No.
No.
We could do anything ourselves, but.
I'd rather pay the $900.
Yeah, yes, I think that's
But I
right,
think we
Barbara.
need to have another one
Well,
that
yeah.
will explain when we finally come to a decision.
Yeah, it might give. Well, let's see how next
Let's see how it goes,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think we can make that call after Thursday.
Yeah.
Make sure that
Oh,
we're
I
live streaming
think-
to live
I'm
streaming.
thinking we're going to have.
Jeff, I'm just, the one thing I was just concerned about did Mike, when he made some adjustments on 3 and 4, was there a neighborhood that was shifted? That was,
These are the original ones.
Yeah,
do you have the originals?
I have the two
I can use the board too over there if you want
from
to look at the big.
these.
No, those are 3A and 4A, aren't they?
No, these are 3
I
and 4.
thought
Were there here that were, or not?
I don't think here, I think it was over in the,
We
Well, he said
played with
which neighborhoods
those,
he
right.
switched.
and then the
And then Lover's Lane.
Lover's Lane area, and there was another street over that way, in the, below the
I lived
Lodgers
there.
area. Those were the differences.
Okay,
Which
okay.
pulled about,
And it was
18 kids or so.
Okay.
Other kids in my neighborhood went to
So
school.
he
I
can
went to
present
London.
3 and 4, and then also say, here's some other things that
That's what he did.
alternatives.
That's right.
Which,
So
you know,
we had
which are
4
tweaks, and then we just let the public, let everybody.
So it was pretty comfortable.
And we want to make sure
Here.
that it's live streamed and, you
Yeah.
know,
Just
video
know
where
that.
people can go back and
This is
look
it,
if they
folks.
don't have the opportunity.
We'll work with Grant on that.
Do that. Okay.
Bill,
Take it
yeah.
up.
I just wanted to
We're
make a
deciding
couple
right
of comments. One, I think it's in our best interest to remind folks that our intention is to do the best we can to make things equitable, and that these new boundaries are not permanent for the next 30 years. Our town is very much alive, development's going on all over the place, and we may need to make changes sooner than 30 years down the road, much sooner, to keep things even. And you know, I understand we had a parent who was upset at the last meeting, and, you know, I went home and I kept thinking about the word targeting. We're not targeting people, we're trying to,
Trying to
make
help,
it,
yeah.
you know, equitable, and I think that in the fact that we're trying to bring all these schools together and have the same experience, and they're going to all be together in the middle school and so forth, whether we have one meeting or 5 meetings, there are people who are going to walk away from this experience upset.
Absolutely.
And
And that we're
they're,
harming their children.
and I'm not sure what we can do to change that. I think there's certain folks that got it made up that, you know, my kid doesn't continue to go to school X, then, you know, that they've done something wrong. And others are going to roll with it. I'm not saying we shouldn't, I mean, obviously, we're going to do our best and get the words out and so forth, but I mean, it's change, and some folks don't handle change as well as others.
Kids do, parents don't.
I think the good thing, though, is that they have a long time to adjust to the change, because they have all next year to adjust, because the change isn't going to happen until the following school year.
Right.
So by that time, they will have either adjusted or moved. I mean, to put it quite bluntly, that's what will happen. They'll either adjust or they'll move.
I think everybody would be so happy that the schools aren't under renovation.
Anymore. They don't care.
Because they're going to look very different. Hi, Joe.
I just have one comment. I mean, I've lived in this town for probably 25, 30 years. The only concern I have is whatever we do, the growth always happens in the north end, which impacts Landers. So let's front load, and I was looking at these figures, let's front load Niantic Center, because unless, you know, there's an earthquake or a big tsunami, That's not really going to change. All that land is used. Pretty much all of our land that's available to do subdivisions. I mean, Lily B can be the one that collapses, expands and collapses because it's in the center of town. But let's definitely front load and then, give Flanders some breathing room, because we'll be back at this in 2 or 3 years from now. Because we really don't know, well, we really don't know how the economy is going to go. But I think we're still, even with everyone I talked to in the Hartford area, this is considered one of the best places to live in the state of Connecticut. And people will move here. So that's my comment.
Okay.
So front load center and give Flanders some breathing room. And I'm sure I'm right.
So we'll make sure that Mike has the three. We'll start with three and four, and then he'll also embellish and say, here's a little tweaking
That we could do.
that you could do, and then every folks can be able to comment on it.
It's a good layout. I like the, it's a good way to
That's good.
approach
Good.
it.
Any other points of discussion or any other suggestions? Good, Candace, good suggestions on making sure we've got the word out in every possible way that we can. And we'll see how the forum goes, and then we'll decide exactly what the next step is.
Actually, that may dictate when the next forum is.
Yeah, that's true.
Based on what
True.
we just
Yeah, let's get a
That may
sense.
dictate when the next forum is.
Yeah. Yep. Good. Barbara?
I think maybe either Jeff or Tim at the forum should speak to how the board's criteria or guidelines, because I think, given what Bill said, that people need to understand very clearly that, because to them it's going to be about which neighborhood is going to which school. And they need to understand that what was important to us was those things we voted. And that our choice of 3 and 4 out of the 5 that were presented to us were based on the fact that those 2 choices fit our criteria the best. And I think that has to come from Jeff or from Tim, not from McBroom.
That's right.
Because I think they need to understand that we set those criteria, and to us, it's about equity.
That's a good suggestion, yeah.
And like one of our things was not having kids in the same neighborhood. Like you'll remember, for instance, when we did it, like I know, for instance, one of the things that was upsetting the people in my neighborhood was that part of the neighborhood was going to go to one school, and the other part of the neighborhood was going to go to another school. So I think the fact that we wanted to keep neighborhood schools by having kids in one neighborhood go to the same school. We didn't want to split neighborhoods. I think that's an important thing for us to stress.
So maybe what we'll do is, and I think that probably just I'll volunteer to take the lead on this, because this is a board thing, and I think that we should be the ones.
say it up front.
So I think this, so the opening speech probably should be a little bit of history as to how we got to this, and making the major point was when Linda Johansson stood up and said, guys, we can't ask folks to do this ourselves. Okay, we really need some experts to help with this, and I think that to me that was a huge moment.
The reality of really the magnitude of.
And then that led us with the consultant to to develop the guiding principles for what we were looking for, and then talk about those. Yeah, that's great. I think that's a great suggestion.
And you can also say that basically we also provided the consultant with information that he wouldn't necessarily get.
Right.
We knew.
Yeah, that's right.
Some of the new housing stuff
Yeah.
were on the books and on down the road.
Right.
Yeah.
And we provided that to him as well, so basically, he wouldn't find that necessarily.
Yeah, yeah. So that's really good
Right, and I
suggestion.
think making that point about how we wanted to have a plan that would be sustainable
Yeah.
and that we have figured in future growth, which obviously we
Yeah.
don't know whether
good.
it's going to materialize, but it's based on that. It's not
Which
based.
would minimize possible
Right.
changes, but not,
Yeah, it
Not
doesn't
grand
take-
Not eliminate.
doesn't eliminate.
Not limited.
Yeah.
Right, it doesn't eliminate.
So I
them.
think it's really important that people know all of that, because
Yeah.
I think truly, I mean, I'm going to pat us on the back, I think we've done a really good job
Yes.
in terms of this.
Yep.
And that, like Bill said, people may be upset because they don't like where they're going to have to go, but I think we did our best to try to make it as fair and equitable as possible. And they have to understand that.
We could note the changes that we've made structurally too, just central office-wise, as far as streamlining the process.
Yes,
Enrollment
yeah,
process.
that's in the, yes, that's in the, yep.
Also, choosing of schools,
Yep.
that kind of thing.
Yep.
That way, and also preschool, that's been a new
Yeah,
adoption
that's
as
good.
well.
That's
So
good.
keeping a hold of those numbers to
Yeah,
foresee.
that could be, Jeff,
any-
you could.
Yeah, I could talk
you
about
could
that.
talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we could get up, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, that's good, that's good.
I like
Yeah,
that.
so I think we'll have that, set that up, so that'll work fine. Good.
That's it.
Other suggestions, anyone? No? Good? Okay, so I think we're good to go on that.
That's it.
Now, do we have an executive?
We do not.
Oh, we do not, oh, we don't have, okay.
No, we're not ready yet.
We're not ready? Okay. So with that, then.
With that.
We are all set for a motion.
Who's going to move?
Lee?
Adjournment? Lee? You moving?
Yep.
Okay, Lee.
Yep, move to adjourn.
And I second.
There you
In
go.
a second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 We are,
Aye.
Aye.
we are,
Aye.
Aye.
we are.